The Treasurer is on track to probably hand down another surplus when the budget comes around in May. Let's bring in Pradeep Phillip. He's a regular on the program. He's a partner at Deloitte Access Economics. Pradeep, it looks like this is a wafer-thin deficit. It's down to 1.1 billion. It's a balanced budget, essentially. It looks inevitable that Treasurer Chalmers will deliver his second surplus in May of next year.
Kieran, we all can see through this. It's a surplus in all but name, but we shouldn't get hung up about whether it's a deficit or a surplus when the numbers are like this, because we've got to look through the structure of this budget. And by and large, this mid-year update, it's not a budget, it's a mid-year update, indicates that the budget is headed in the right direction, but the government needs to put the foot down on the reform accelerator, because commodity prices, jobs growth and booming migration have saved the budget. But if we want to think about the future of our economy, how to lift growth, jobs and incomes over the medium term, we need reform.
Given that windfall or the revised upgrade in revenue of $66 billion since the budget, across the next 4 years, it's a massive increase, largely due to better than expected employment numbers and also better than expected commodity prices. That being said, it does increase as a percentage of our GDP, the tax take. So in that context, does it mean that it's even more important for the government to deliver those stage 3 tax cuts?
Well, it's interesting. So you're right. There's about $66 billion more revenue. There's about $9.5 billion where the government's reprioritised and made some savings here and there. And across the forward estimates, there's a $40 billion reduction in the deficit profile. So this is kind of good things. They've banked about 92% of the revenue upside. A good start, it's good discipline. But now we've got to think about what does the budget do to lift the productive capacity of the economy? How do we ensure that this budget coming up stimulates investment, particularly in the private sector? And there are big areas of investment that we need to make. For example, Kieran, we're on the threshold, for example, of what generative AI can do for business productivity. And yet our own analysis suggests that we are not prepared anywhere near enough to reap the benefits of it. But there are other things that need to take place. And there is a good start in the last budget in the MyEFO, for example, for the mining sector around critical minerals. This is really important for us as Australians to think about our place in the world and the new exports of the future and the energy that will power Australian industry. So these are good things, and that's where the budget debate needs to go. Not just about stage 3 tax cuts, but we do think there should be sustainable tax reform going forward, just as much as we think there should be incentives around investment and productivity.